Welcome to Ethiopia today, and thank you for stopping by. Here are today's update for you. EthioTelecom launches 5G services in Addis Ababa. Ethiopia attracts over 2.4 billion FDI in 9 months. EU delegation head reaffirms strategic partnership with Ethiopia. Church leaders vow to enhance spiritual renewal in a bid to bring peace in South Sudan. Former President of Nigeria Goodluck Jonathan has rejected a presidential nomination. The details are as follow, and we invite you to stay with us until the end. EthioTelecom launches 5G services in Addis Ababa. EthioTelecom launched a 5G mobile phone service on Monday in a key step ahead of competition from new entrants in an industry that has been closed for international players, Reuters reported. Next-generation 5G networks can provide data speeds at least 20 times faster than 4G and are seen as important for emerging technologies like self-driving cars and enable communication and interconnectivity between smart devices. EthioTelecom Chief Executive Officer Frehiwot Tamaru said the service will first be available in the capital Addis Ababa, before eventually expanding to other parts of the country. The 5G service is launched in selected places in Addis Ababa, the CEO said at a launch event. In the coming 12 months, we will have 150 5G sites in Addis Ababa and regional cities. Frehiwot did not say how much deploying the network would cost. EthioTelecom, which has 64 million subscribers across the nation, said in a separate statement that China's Huawei Technologies was its equipment supplier for the network. It recorded a 6.7% rise in revenues to 28 billion birr, which is $544.40 million in its half-year to December 31st. The government launched a tendering process for selling a 40% stake in state-owned EthioTelecom to private investors last June. In March, the government said it had postponed the planned partial privatization because of the prevailing economic environment domestically and globally. In December, industry regulator Ethiopian Communication Authority said it had also suspended a tender process for a second telecommunications license, which it said it would relaunch in the near future. The Horn of Africa country of over 115 million people sold only one of 2 full-service licenses on offer in May 2021. The winner of the first license, a consortium led by Kenya's Safaricom SCOMNR, Vodafone, and Japan's Sumitomo, is in the process of setting up its network ahead of a planned commercial launch due anytime now. The licenses are considered a big prize in the country's push to liberalize the economy, which had been closed to private investors. Ethiopia attracts over 2.4 billion FDI in 9 months. The country has attracted $2.43 billion worth of foreign direct investment, FDI, in the past 9 months, according to the Ethiopian Investment Commission. Investment Commissioner Lilisi Nemi said Ethiopia has pulled in the stated FDI from 118 investors from different countries including China, France, US, Israel, and Italy, according to the report from ENA. We plan to attract $3.63 billion FDI. We achieved $2.43 billion. Although this performance is 67% of the target, it has shown 18.8% increase when compared to the same period last year, Lilisi added. Out of the total attracted FDI, 65 engages in manufacturing, 50 in services, and 3 in agriculture, the commissioner explained. Lilisi stated that the new foreign investors have created 57,451 jobs, of which about 45,000 are women. The country has also earned $156.7 million from the export of products obtained from the industrial parks. The 9-month performance is encouraging, amid internal and external challenges against the investments, the commissioner explained, pointing out that the commission is working towards solving investment challenges in the country in many ways. Challenges that could have affected the investment performance include security issues in some parts of the country and foreign currency shortage, suspension from AGOA, COVID-19 pandemic, and Russia-Ukraine conflict as indicated. Nonetheless, Ethiopia is a promising country for investment with its enormous resource potential in many of the sectors including solar and geothermal energies, industry, services, and agriculture, the commissioner added. EU delegation head reaffirms strategic partnership with Ethiopia. The European Union delegation head in Ethiopia, Ambassador Roland Kobia, has reaffirmed Ethiopia and EU have strong strategic partnership. In an exclusive interview with ENA, the ambassador said the strong strategic engagement between Ethiopia and EU was an initiative signed in 2016. Signing of the strategic engagement was very important for the reason that Ethiopia is one of a few countries which has strategic engagement with EU, he noted. According to the ambassador, The engagement was the recognition of importance of Ethiopia for the EU member states and for its pivotal role in the Horn and also in the continent. The strategic engagement is a document looking at the relationship between Ethiopia and EU in a very wide way. We look to have more cooperation in political and security issues with Ethiopia not only at regional level but also at continental level, Abiy pointed out. Ethiopia has been security provider for many years and for many decades and a very important contributor of troops for peacekeeping in the Horn of Africa and elsewhere, the delegation stated. He further underlined that not only the security and political matters are very high in the agenda to strategic engagement between Ethiopia and EU but also economic partnership including trade, investment, development aid and people-to-people contact. The security and political matters are very high in the agenda to strategic engagement. Strategic engagement is also about economic partnership, trade, investment, development aid, people-to-people contact. So, it is a very wide document that enables Ethiopia and 27 member states of EU to go further in cooperation and collaboration, Abiy underscored. The ambassador said EU is not interested in interfering in Ethiopia's internal affairs as the EU is very much attached to UN charters and values, respecting sovereignty of a nation. EU is a peace project created to bring peace in Europe and to export peace and promote peace around the world, he affirmed. Abiy elaborated that EU principles are based on respecting independence, territorial integrity, and borders, and all these principles are applied to Ethiopia. Speaking on the current situation in Ethiopia, the delegation head said that EU doesn't want to interfere, but as partner EU is ready to support peace process. Commenting on the recent discussion held between Ethiopian government officials, including Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister Demeke Mekonnen, and the EU 27 member states and governments, Abiy stated that the discussion was a very good sign of engagement in very meaningful, deep and wide political discussion. Finally, he expressed his hope that Ethiopia will overcome the challenges and end the chapter of war, turn the page and move to more peaceful environment. South Sudan. Church leaders vow to enhance spiritual renewal in a bid to bring peace. Religious leaders from the South Sudan Council of Churches pledged to continue efforts to bring about a lasting just peace through spiritual renewal, advocacy, dialogue, reconciliation and trauma healing while encouraging all non-violent means of bringing about positive change in society, according to the report from Catholic Information Service for Africa in Nairobi. The SSCC spoke at the end of a retreat held at Lukenya Hills in Kenya from April 26 through to 29 and attended by elder retired church leaders, technical experts, and international partners in specialized ministries where they reviewed the peace-building efforts of the church to prayerfully discern a way forward. Our first aim was stop the war now, and we thank God that the nationwide war has indeed ceased. From the beginning, we insisted that our goal was not only to stop the war but also to prevent new wars from springing up. We, therefore, reaffirm our commitment to our action plan for peace, said the leaders as they celebrated the positive changes which have taken place since their previous retreat in Kigali, Rwanda in June 2015. They, however, lamented the outbreak of widespread violence across the nation that seems to have replaced the civil strife, propagating continuous suffering and loss of life. We will deepen our efforts for spiritual renewal in our nation and our people, vowed the prelates, adding, we also recognize that peace and justice will not come about through technical and political mechanisms alone but through the transformation of the hearts of all our leaders and our people. We also thank God that a peace agreement and a transitional government are now in place, and we congratulate the parties on the clauses which have been implemented. But we note with sadness the slow implementation of some clauses to which the parties have agreed, the apparent lack of political will amongst many of the signatories, and the failure to address the root causes of the conflict. We regret that a number of armed parties have felt unable to sign the RRCs, and we support the community of Sant'Egidio and others to achieve a more inclusive agreement. Read part of the statement jointly signed by Archbishop Dr. Stephen Amu Martin Mullah, Archbishop of the Catholic Archdiocese of Juba, and Most Reverend Dr. Justin Badi Arama, Primate and Archbishop of the Province of the Episcopal Church of South Sudan, among others. The leaders, drawn from various denominations in the country, insisted on Christian unity, shunning away from the individualistic approach to denominations. We reaffirm the unity of the churches in South Sudan, and once again, we identify as the Church of Christ rather than individual churches, maintain the church leaders. Nigerian. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has rejected a presidential nomination form bought for him by a group from northern Nigeria. Jonathan's media advisor, Ikechukwu, said in a statement that the group had bought the form and that the former president did not authorize the purchase, and considered the move by the group an insult, all Africa news media reports. We wish to categorically state that Dr. Jonathan was not aware of this bid and did not authorize it. The statement read in part, "The form was for the ruling All Progressives Congress, a PC that defeated Jonathan, who governed Nigeria on the platform of the People's Democratic Party before losing his re-election bid to Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. Nigeria's main political parties are expected to hold their primaries later this month to meet the Election Commission's dateline of the 3rd of June for the submission of their candidates for the February 2023 election. Here's the end of our presentation. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bar so that you won't miss any of our exciting videos. Don't be the only one to enjoy the video. Share it with your loved ones too. Don't forget also to check out our collections on description section. May God bless Africa and its people. Many thanks.